Thank you, Salma, for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us. If you can hear us, kindly let us know where you're joining us from, your location, maybe Nigeria, Canada, whatever the country is. Just tell us, and so we can start. Finally, I have my guest here, so we're not going to keep us waiting any longer. I'm just going to introduce my guest very briefly, and then we set the ball rolling. So my guest today in the School of Confidence is Wil Johnson. He has over 8 years of managing and 13 years of recruitment, sourcing, and executing full cycle recruitment strategies. He is very, very good when it comes to developing and management on a broad range of internship and professional development programs. I could go on and on and on to give you the pedigree of my guests, but I'll keep you all waiting if we get to do that. Maybe we hear a little from all of this from him himself, since he's here in the building. So, Wil Johnson, thank you very much. This has been long coming. Finally, we're here today.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for inviting me. And yes, it's been about, what, 6 weeks? 5 to 6 weeks that we've been planning this. So yes, it's been going on for a while.
Yeah, when you said 29th March, it looked like forever. I was relaxed and I woke up, I was like, oh, today is 26th. We have just 3 days to get everything ready. So time flies, like so. Whatever has a date it's going to come. So very glad that we're able to have this today, and we hope that we're able to share enough value for everyone who is watching us now, and everyone who is going to watch the replay. They will be able to get value from what we'll be sharing today. So thank you everyone for joining me while I start the session with my host today, with my guest today. Sorry about that. So as a confidence coach, we talk a lot about confidence. And they might notice that for a lot of job seekers, they don't have the confidence to attract this dream job that they always want to attract. So, Mr. Wil, what areas do confidence hinder candidates in the hiring process? Since this is something you're always doing, you have come across people who come to be hired and then you're like, nope, this person isn't going to get this job. With this attitude and with this mindset that they have. So shed more light on this for us, please.
Okay, a couple things. Even before they talk to me, there are people who don't have enough confidence to even apply for the job. They might say, I've never been a manager, but I've been an assistant manager for 10 years. They still don't have that confidence to say, I deserve to go to the next step. That's part of it. But when they get to me, a lot of the problems are people are so nervous that they forget that they're a subject matter expert on themselves. So it comes off almost as they're lying. Oh, so how many years have you done this? Or tell me about your last job. And they're so nervous and so in their head, they're almost stumbling over their words. And at that point, we think that you're lying. Even if you're telling absolute truth, we know this is what we do. We have your resume. So the part that I think that'll help a lot of people get confidence, know your resume forward and backwards. Also have it in front of you and just be able to read it instead of trying to remember. I can't remember what I did 7 years ago. Have it in front of you. As a recruiter, I completely understand you having your resume. But also just have the confidence to know I probably had 100 to 200 resumes. I only reached out to 5 to 7 people. If I'm reaching out to you, you're in the top, what, 2.5% to 5%? You really are already ahead of the curve. I'm reaching out to you for a reason. So have the confidence that I called or I set it up. So now your confidence should be, I made it through all those people. Now it's time for me to go ahead and get this job. So definitely know your resume backwards and forwards and speak, enunciate, sound loud, sound confident. Shoulders back, head up. Look like you already have the job. Look like you belong there. That's something else that hinders people. They don't look like they belong.
Thank you so much. You're just dropping the points one after the other, and I can really understand with this because I have come across people who have very great products and very amazing services, but they don't have confidence in themselves, one, or confidence in the solution that they can provide. And they lose you because you're like, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in your product, if you don't believe in your service, why should I waste my time not to talk of my money on you. And then if you are not confident in what you can serve, I can't employ you to teach you the job. You have to have the confidence to prove to me that this job, I am worthy enough for the job and I can get it because I deserve the job. So another question I have, what mistakes do candidates make in the hiring, in the hiring process?
Okay,
What are
so
some of the random mistakes that they make?
one of the biggest random mistakes, and this is going to deal with confidence too. I think there are people who apply, but they don't actually think they can get the job, if that makes sense. They come to the interview,
Yeah.
they sort of do this. Face to face, they don't have any confidence. They're looking down. They're not making eye contact. Hey, so you did such and such. Yeah, it was easy. Instead of saying, this is what I did, this was the solution, and this is why it worked. They don't describe, they don't brag on themselves enough. They don't say, technically in an interview, you should really come across, you need me and this is why you should hire me. You can't say that, but that's what you have to come across. You have to say, I did this for a certain amount of years. I got past this problem. I was with this company for 10 years. I've been promoted 3 times. These are not things we hear in interviews all the time. We'll hear, yeah, I was there for 5 years. And that's it. They're not telling us. They're not expounding on everything they do. They're not expounding on how great they can help this company. They're not showing me, if you hire me, I can help this company go from X to Y to Z. They're not doing that. So head down, not telling me everything that you've done, that I can write down in my notes like, listen, we have to hire this person. They did this, this, and this for their last company. They can do this for us. That is one mistake. Another mistake is, and these are some of these are basic, but these happen on a daily basis. Be on time, be early. If you have to do like a virtual, like we're doing right now, we're online, come on 5 minutes early and make sure that everything is working. Things of that nature. Because if, just think about it, if I come on and I'm like, oh my God, I'm 5 minutes late. Now I'm like, oh my God. And in the back of my mind, I'm 5 minutes late throughout this entire interviewing process. I'm not thinking about what you're asking me. I'm thinking about, oh my God, I'm 5 minutes late. So just make sure everything that you need to be confident. Like if you don't wear suits, there are people who say I don't wear suits. Wear a buttoned up shirt and a tie. Make it so you feel like you're your authentic self, so that way you're as confident as you can be. You're not sitting here doing this, fidgeting with a tie, or your overcoat, or whatever. Just make it so you represent you the way that I need to see you. These are things that happen on a pretty daily basis.
I can really understand. Thank you very much. Where I worked before, I rose to the position of a marketing manager. And so I had the responsibility to recruit my marketers to work with me. And you see some resumes top notch, like we have to employ these people. And so you call them over for an interview and they're a far cry from what they have written down in their resume. And I keep telling ladies I work with, I said, be this person that you have said you are in your resume. If you tell me you're confident, you can work independently, I want to see that in you when you walk into the building to have the interview. You can't tell me you have worked somewhere for 5-10 years. And I am asking you basic questions in this job that you have done for the past 3 years, and you're stuttering and you're stumbling on your words. I'm like, did you do this work or they did it for you? Or are you sure you got the job because of favor or someone you knew? So confidence is a very strong thing for not just job, even how you walk. Even some people walk into a building and you're like, nope, this person, we can't give them this job, because they are even not going to, they'll chase our clients away. Thank you, Rita, for joining me. They'll chase our clients away, because if I hire you as a sales rep or as a customer manager and you come on board, and someone walks in, you size yourself because you feel you are not worthy. And then a client walks in, you're like, low self-esteem comes to play. You now start to play down. The funny part of it is that some people, when they feel low about themselves, they tend to act rudely so that they can like ride on the other person to give them a better sense of judgment. Or some of them slouch into themselves and they're just looking. You're like, I want to see this person. They're like looking. You're like, and they're like, how can someone employ this person? So it's good. How does confidence look to a recruiter? Someone who is recruiting, when someone walks in, how do they perceive it? Like there's an aura of self-confidence around somebody. How do they perceive it?
You're right. When you walk into the room, okay, if we're doing, I'm going to do it a couple different ways. If we're coming in and we're face to face, you come in,
Yeah.
you smile, you look people in their eyes. Don't look away. Don't look, give them a handshake, sturdy handshake. How are you doing? I am. Who are you? Or how do you do it? And that right there is like, okay, they're commanding the room up front. If you have a situation where there's more than one person interviewing you, walk in, same thing, shake everybody's hand. When if somebody asks you a question, you spend most of your time looking at them in their eye, but make sure that you go from side to side to the other people who are also interviewing you to keep kind of that aura with you, because what you need to do is say, this is why you need to hire. If we're online, just speak confidently, look into your camera, talk. Let me see your personality. Keep in mind, I'm a recruiter. I've been doing this for 13 plus years. I get nervous when I go to pitch my company or I go for a job. I get nervous every time, but you'll never know.
Yeah.
The other thing is practice. Practice, practice, practice. There are certain questions you're going to be asked every interview. Tell me about yourself. You should know who you are and what you do.
Yeah.
What do you know about this company? It's not hard to go to Google and get 5 things that you heard about this company. It's not hard. Who founded it? What year it was founded? If there's a reason it was founded, things of that nature. Just go ahead. It's not hard. Then you have the other part to it is also, then at the very last is, do you have any questions for us? If you practice these, and it's easy to just write it down, practice. If it's a phone interview and they can't see you, read it verbatim what you want to know. The thing that will give people confidence is having a plan. Most people have been on more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews. You kind of know what they're going to ask. Tell me about a time when you turned a situation around. That's a question that's asked a lot also. In your mind, write down 2 or 3 scenarios because you've been through it. Now when you get on the phone or you get on a Zoom or a live, they're like, okay. Because as a recruiter, you can tell I like your answers because I don't ask follow-up. If it's like pulling teeth, I'm going to end this interview quickly. Because either you don't have the confidence, you don't want to be here, and if I send you to the hiring manager, they're going to look at me like, what is wrong with you? Why did you send me this candidate? So having a plan will make you look more than confident 90 to 95% of the time. Knowing that you deserve to be here, again, 100 to 200 people apply for this job. Yeah. I'm going to reach out to 5 to 7 people. You're at your creme de la creme already, so just know that going in. So those are some of the things that just knowing what it is, not having to. Again, like if you give the complete answer, I don't have to ask any follow-up questions. Don't think that any detail is too small. Never think that your details make the story.
Yeah. Thank you so much. As you were just speaking, a lot of things were coming to play, and I can remember when I was really younger, my mom has an establishment, and then whenever she's recruiting new staff, I get to sit there and I'd see them. Even when I was really young, I could tell from those who were fidgeting, some of them who couldn't answer the questions, and I just feel for them. I'm like, she's my mom. She's not going to bite you or something. Just answer the question. So I have sat from the place of the recruiter, and I have sat from the place of someone being recruited, and so I can tell on both sides what it is. I love the parts that you said they should read what they have written. I was in a Zoom call today, and we're all asked to give recommendations. I noticed the first one we had earlier this year, I had recommendations in my head, and when I opened my mouth, I started saying more than I needed to say, and I missed some key points I was supposed to give. So today at the Zoom call, I had my points written down as I wanted to say them. So I just went practically and read them, number 1, number 2, and I had very good reviews, and everybody was like, woo, amazing reviews. So I love the part that sometimes we have it in our head, but faced with the situation, a Zoom call of over 100, over 70 people, and so And when someone else is talking, you can tick all the mistakes. When the mic of everyone is mute and yours to speak, you know what it looks like. You may feel that it's a Zoom call, they're not seeing my face, or they're seeing my face, they are not here. But it's a lot of pressure on its own. When you open your mouth, every idea starts to fly out of your brain, and you're like, you miss out saying what you want to say. But when you have it written down, you're just like 1, 2, 3, you're ticking the boxes as you're saying them. So as a recruiter, not only recruiter, as a marketer, as a business owner, I want us to also talk on confidence for business owners. This is something, just a sneak one. We may have this conversation another day, but for those who are joining, let's give them a bonus. As a business owner, how important is having confidence for a business owner? Now, a recruiter separates a business owner now.
Okay, so a business owner, you have to have ultimate confidence in yourself and your product, because you're going to hear so many no's before you get that first yes. I'm going to say,
True.
And on the low end, I probably heard close to 150, 200 no's. I'm being completely honest, before I got my first contract. Like people wouldn't call you back, or they'd be like, oh, we're good, or we don't need you, or things like that. Phone calls, and you'd get on the lives or the Zooms, and they're like, well, we're not quite sure how you would fit at this point. We might call you. A lot of that, and you get so many doors slammed in your face. It's ridiculous. But only the people who keep going. Now, keep in mind, don't get it wrong. There's days where it's been kind of dark. I'm not going to lie to you, where I'll say, maybe I should try something else. Maybe this isn't working. Like, I've had
we all get there sometimes.
with myself. Are you sure this is what you want to do? But no, it's a passion of mine. So I definitely want to keep going. I definitely want to help high school students, college students, and people trying to get to their next level. And then when I finally got my first contract, then I got my second contract, then I got my third contract. So if I had quit, oh my God, if I had quit, I would have never met you. I wouldn't have done any of the things I'm doing. I would have just flat out been like, okay, this is too much. I'm not ready. But you have to have the confidence in yourself to say the next person is going to say yes. The next email is going to be positive. The next interaction I had, and even though sometimes you get on the phone and you get to that and you're happy, you're still not at the place you want to be, because what you want to be at is a signed contract. So again, it took me like 9 months to get my first contract.
Wow.
It took me like 9 months.
These are the stories that I would like other business owners to hear, because many times you see people on social media. Thank you very much. Cameron said every no is a redirection. That is really true. Every failure, I don't call them failures, we call them feedbacks, because you look at them and say, what didn't I do? How do I improve on this thing? A lot of business owners on social media only tell us their wins. But I tell people, I said, for every win you see, there have been 9 to 10 failures or feedbacks, as I call them. But many people don't project this. They just come to put on this front like, I keep winning. All we do is win, no matter what. No matter what? What? Tell us the truth. How many times have you failed? We want to know that we're human, because if I can see you win, and I don't win, I'm feeling like something is wrong with me. I feel bad about myself. Like, I now start to second guess myself. Am I doing something wrong? Or maybe this is not the best field for me. Or someone say, maybe I'm not called to do this. Maybe I'm not called to do this. Like, you're called to do this. Just stay your ass a little and then coin your craft. Know more about it, because I wouldn't have met you. And then a lot of people that you have worked with, you would have missed the chance to change their lives and redirect them to be doing what they're doing here today. So I love the part that we're telling job seekers, this is how to build confidence to get this dream job. We're also telling business owners that, see, it's not going to happen. Some people think success is just like a tick good. They don't know that sometimes it comes zigzag, and goes in within itself. But all of this builds character for us. All of this builds strength. It shows us that we didn't even know exists. It shows us a level of strength that we didn't even know that we had. So, Will, thank you so much for shedding light on this. We need to have another conversation. The next one will be for business owners or for service providers. How do they portray this sense of confidence to get this contract that they want to get. Because I was called to a meeting to speak to people who were applying for a grant. And I told them, I said, when you walk in to tell the board why you need this grant, sometimes with the way you come about it, the people approving this grant will say, if we give this person this money, he's going to take this money and solve their village problem. Sorry, here in Nigeria, we have a lot of village people. So you hear village things a lot. So they will use this money to solve all the problems of their families, their extended families. They won't do this business that they want to take this grant for, and they will not be able to pay back the grants. So recruiters or people giving them grants will not give them this grant simply because they are already from their physique. You already say, this person maybe have never handled this amount of money. If we give them this money, they are going to blow it. So we need to have another conversation like this so we can speak to service providers, business owners, top executive, entrepreneurs on the importance of confidence in marketing themselves, in selling themselves, and in attracting these big deals that they have wanted to and always wish they can. So thank you everybody for joining us today. Jerry Johnson, Cameroon, Rita, Rinret, Alex, Telvin, Michael, everybody who joined us. Sorry, I hope I don't, Martins, Salah, everybody that joined us, thank you very much. Simply Complicated, everybody that joined us, thank you very much for joining us. We would have this next week. Either we're still bringing Will or we're bringing another guest, we don't know yet. So Will, can you just wrap up in 1 minute so that those who joined lately can understand what we have talked about?
Okay, number one, please have the ultimate confidence in yourself, especially when you're talking to a recruiter. Know that you deserve to be here because I would not have reached out to you if you did not have what we were looking for. Also, Just know one thing we didn't touch on, but you might not get the first job that you applied for. I didn't. So you have to keep applying, and that's something you also have to keep your confidence up. Everybody's not going to like you. There are internal candidates. There are things of that nature that you don't know about. But again, you got on the phone with the recruiter. We remember all of the people we wanted to hire but couldn't. And you will be at the top of our list for our next call. So always have that confidence. You deserve to be here. Apply for the positions that you think you can do, and we will definitely work with you down the line.
Thank you so much. We can go on and on and on, but we'll be keeping so many people away from what they want to do. So we just wanted this to be short. Thank you everyone that joined us. Confidence is really important for every area of our lives. Confidence in parenting, in raising your children, in buying stuff and selling, in every area of our lives. Confidence is even in your self-talk. If you feel bad about yourself, the kind of words you say to yourself will show if you're confident about yourself or not. And it affects even the tiniest of decisions we make, even to the clothes we buy, to the clothes we wear, to the words we see on ourselves. Low confidence shows. So it's something that, it's not a cloth that you put on and take away. It's something you have to wear all the time, every day and every time, if you want to enjoy life or live life to the fullest, as we say it. Thank you, everybody, for joining School of Confidence today. I want to say a very big thank you to my guests. Thank you so much. I am so grateful. Looking forward to the next time we have this session. Thank you very much, and stay blessed, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. You're welcome.